If there was ever a time to want to travel out of Nigeria, guys, the time is now. The time to travel out of Nigeria is right now. I just heard today that a liter of fuel is 1,350 naira. It's crazy. Finally, they have brought the country to a halt. Imagine how this is going to reflect on the prices of things. You know, I always tell all my friends, anybody that cared to listen, I knew this would happen. I knew this was going to happen a while ago. Immediately, they forced Jonathan out of office. I knew this was going to happen. And that was when I started having the thoughts of wanting to relocate from Nigeria. It's just that for a while, I didn't put plans into motion until much later, about 4 or 5 years later, that I started planning. I knew, I was sure before. If I wasn't sure before, immediately Jonathan was pushed out, I knew that I was not going to live in Nigeria for longer anymore. So if there's ever a time to want to travel out of Nigeria, it is right now. And there are things you must know. It's not just to wish to want to travel. You have to have clarity, then you have to have plan. And those are the things that I'm going to talk about in this video. So if you care, if this is something that you want to to listen to, then just hang on. Let me put you through on how easy. Yeah, it's actually quite easy to travel out of Nigeria if you really want to. Emphasis on if you really want to. Why do I say if you really want to? It's not just to wish. A lot of people just wish to want to travel out, because others are traveling out and something like that. No, that's why I said the two most important things is you must have clarity of purpose and you must have a plan. Once you have those two things, other things will follow. I'm going to explain it, so stay connected. And in a couple of videos, I'm going to do a little kind of series. I'm not a YouTuber per se. I just want to pass this message out there for people to really, know how to navigate, traveling out of Nigeria, because you have to think of yourself first. You have to think of yourself first before any other thing, because the rate at which I hear people are just dropping dead. Somebody is healthy last week, this week is gone. Some of them, not that they were really sick, but depression is real. A lot of people are passing through a lot of hell. They may not tell you. And sometimes, just try to check out on your friends, because a lot is going on. It's not easy to live in Nigeria right now. It's not easy at all, especially for the ordinary guy out there, who didn't come from a very wealthy family or political family, those that have hijacked and bought the country. If you are not from those families, it's very, very difficult to live in Nigeria right now, especially if you don't have a good business. And most of the businesses are closing down because the environment is not fertile, for businesses to thrive. So what do you now do? It's a natural law. You move to other climes where you can find opportunities and survive, because you have to survive first before you can pray. No, I don't even believe that. Nigerians' problem is beyond prayer right now. Before you can hope and plan to contribute your part on how to liberate Nigeria from the shackles of the evildoers that have taken it over. So I made mention of two things, two most important things. Clarity. One, you must have clarity of purpose. You check your circumstances and what direction you want to take in your life. You have to be clear about that yes, this is what I really want to do. I want to relocate. You must have to come to terms with that. And after you have come to terms with that and you have agreed to yourself that I've got to move, then you move to the next stage, which is planning. It's not something that you have to hurry. You have to be intentional about planning on how to relocate, because I don't advise anybody to relocate illegally. No. It's a no-no. I wouldn't also advise you in some instances to use visitor's visa. No, because when you get to some countries with visitor visa, life will become very, very difficult for you, especially when you don't have money. And it will take a very, very long time, and you have to be extremely lucky to be able to navigate, to becoming a legal resident of that country. So, which left the opportunity to either study or work. Those are the two major things that I'm going to be concentrating on. So, when you want to set out your plan, you have to make sure that you draw a kind of a calendar. Okay, this is the period that I'm going to work on this. It's not something that you just jump, unless, even if you have millions, sometimes people rush and they will lose the millions because of lack of clarity and lack of planning. So you have to have clarity, then a detailed plan on how to navigate it, and it becomes, very easy for you to do. I have known a lot of people that have traveled, people that did not even have a dime, but because they were intentional about it, they had a clarity of purpose, and they have a solid plan, they were able to relocate within a short period of time. So I'm not going to give you a time frame, but it all depends on your personal circumstances and how prepared you are to want to travel. When I finally made up my mind to travel, a lot of changes occurred. A lot of things happened within my mind. Things that I used to take seriously were no longer very serious to me. The kind of life that I used to enjoy, I no longer enjoyed it, because I have my gaze on something that I was working towards. So every other thing was secondary. Sometimes, people will look at me, what's going on, guy? Somebody even told me that you look like a shadow of yourself. That was going on. I would just smile. Just because maybe you are the type that you are doing maybe very well, and they start seeing that you are no longer, coming out as you used to do, driving around and stuff like that. People start to wonder, especially maybe you started selling off some of your things, to prepare your way. Yeah, I had to sell my Jeep, and I think I sold my Jeep a year and 6 months before I traveled. Yeah. So during the period after I sold it, I started using public transport. Then later I got a scooter. Somebody that used to drive a Jeep before, I started moving around with my scooter, wherever I want to go. So people will see, what's happening to this guy? A lot of talk, a lot of side talk, but I didn't really mind, because I had already set a plan in motion. Why am I saying this? That's why I said you have to be intentional. There are a lot of stops you have to shed away in order for you to succeed in your journey. Now, this is not gainsaying it. It's just the serious thing. You have to be very, very intentional about it, and drop a lot of excesses, a lot of luxuries, so that you can save money and apply the money towards your goal. Because your goal, this is kind of trying to start over. So you have to be very, very serious about it. So you have a clarity of purpose. You have set out a plan. Now, what is going to be in that your plan? First and foremost, you have to choose what kind of visa you are going to travel with. Are you going to do a master's, or you want to go and do a kind of a college degree that will give you a specific kind of skill that will make you to be employable in the international, labor market, because you are trying to leave Nigeria. Now, Nigeria and Africa, to a very large extent, is disconnected from, the international labor market, except those that have IT skills right back at home. Apart from those that have IT skills, every other skill or every other employment route that you have to take, you have to, bring yourself to the level that will make you to be employed or to be employable in the developed world or in the Western world. So you plan it. If you've had a degree before and you want to do masters, fine. Student route is a very good route, but it's expensive. Yeah, that's why I said you have to be intentional about it. Then the work route is cheaper, but it's more difficult. But it's, as much as it is difficult, it's also kind of easy if you really know what you are doing and if you know where to look, to and how to prepare yourself for what I just said earlier, the international job market. So you have to put all these things into consideration and break them stage by stage. If you are going to get a particular kind of skill, right back there in Nigeria, you can get a lot of certification in Nigeria that are recognized, abroad. You get those specific skills, you research the country that you feel will be suitable for those skills and for your pocket, but make sure that it's not a country that you jump from. Anyway, you cannot jump from in this instance, you cannot jump from fry pan to fire, because Nigeria is not a fry pan anymore. It's already fire. So obviously, if you want to jump from the fire, if you jump onto a fry pan, it will not be too, but at least jump onto something that is much better than a fry pan. What I mean by this is, look for a country that will give you prospects, even if it's not your final destination, but at least will give you that base and foundation where you can build on. Those countries are usually cheaper to migrate to. Now you look for those countries and you go either through the student route or through the work. And some of them may not really have much jobs like that. So those countries, I prefer you go, through the study route. You can study some very good courses at a very affordable, tuition fees and prices in some of those countries. And once you get those degrees, then you'll be able to find your level from that country if you feel that that's not where you want to settle. This video is already taking long, and I didn't mean to make it long. I just wanted you to to know about these things, that the time to travel out of Nigeria is right now if you want to change the life of your generation, because a lot of dreams have already been killed and more will be killed if people are not careful. And before I end the video, there is one very important thing. People always consider age. At this age, can I still travel abroad? Maybe it's my children that I will send them, later to go and study. When you cannot aspire to become anything in Nigeria, how are you going to send your kids abroad? It's not going to be possible, because the economy has finally ground to a halt. What is going to happen now, nobody really knows, but I'm not really very, very optimistic with the set of people that we still have. And people are already planning for 2027. The same people that have brought the country to a halt, they're already scheming again. And the majority of Nigerian populace do not have the unity and the composure, to force these people out of the system to fix the country, like they do in other countries like Sri Lanka and other countries where people will come out. The latest one was it not in Bangladesh? Yes, students came out and drove the president or the prime minister out of office through protests because they were united. We don't have that kind of situation in Nigeria. They always try to suppress it. The military, the police, they will always come out to make sure that they threaten everybody, so that the majority of the people that would have made it to to be forceful, those people will shy away because they know how to do their thing. Until we get, and it's going to take a very long while before we'll be able to get that kind of united front. And it's going to probably start from the north, and the other part of Nigeria will follow suit. I know that it's going to come one day, because it can't continue like this. But if you don't want to wait it, then you have to have an exit strategy, exit plan. And this is the best time to want to do that. Nobody know. I know the exchange rate is very high, but it's only going to get higher, so it's not going to get better. If you have made up your mind that you want to travel out, this is the time to want to travel out. And just stick to this channel. I'm going to lay out plans step by step on how you can do it. This is not just theoretical plan. It's something that I have passed through. It's something that a lot of my friends have passed through. It's something that a lot of people that I consider as mentors, have used and have also helped other people, to use to travel abroad. You don't need to have all the millions in the world or all the connection. You don't need any travel agents. 99% of them, they're just out to get your money. Some of them are even out to get money from you for them to find a way out of Nigeria. So don't look at travel agent, through Mago visitors visa. No, you can do. I'm going to teach you on how to do everything yourself, from deciding on the country you want to go to the route you want to use, to the application process, how to get your document, how to get everything. I'm going to tell you and teach you how to do it if you are serious. But this is only for those that have clarity that yes, they really want to travel. They can't take it anymore. Yeah, my mental health was seriously impacted before I traveled. I knew that it's either I travel or something probably bad, will happen to me, to the point that, to even travel was becoming difficult because of fear of being kidnapped and a lot of other stuff. But since I came, yeah, it's not easier abroad when you first of all come, but the truth is that if you travel legally, it becomes easier. And the first thing that is going to stabilize is your mental health, because you see a society where you see that you start to have new dreams, hopes, things that you thought, you're not possible anymore. You see them within your grasp, and, the opportunities are everywhere. If you are ready to start over, it gives you a very good opportunity, and the sky can be your limit. So age should not disturb you. I will tell you a story about how a 40-something years old man started all over in one of the Western world. Yeah, he started over, and today is one of the sought after IT specialists in the whole world. Yeah, he started at 41. You can also do it. It's just clarity of purpose and plan. That's what you need, guys. So stick around. Try to subscribe. It's not a must, but try to subscribe so that once I start posting the rest of the video, the series, at least you'll be able to get you'll be among the first people that will know about, that will get notification to watch those videos. So I wish you the best. I wish you luck on this your journey, and just stick to it and believe it that it can happen, and nothing can stop if you believe and you have clarity of purpose and you have a plan. It will work out, and you'll find yourself in the Western world or any part of the world that you feel that you can actualize your dreams. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. See ya.